Well, I'd like to introduce Ben Fuchs. He is the developer of Truth Treatment Systems skincare products, and we have been using them at Moses Lake Professional Pharmacy. I've been using them personally, and we've been selling them and with great results. So we're going to have some educational videos with him coming up, and the first one we're going to do today is on retinol. So Ben, you're the expert in skincare. You've been doing this for over 30 years. Tell us why retinol is important and why we should be using it for our skin.
Okay, great question. First of all, you're a pharmacist like me. We're pharmacists. And in pharmacy school, we don't get a lot of dermatology, but we get a little bit. And in pharmacy school, the gold standard ingredient for anti-aging dermatology, for just general skin health dermatology, is retinoic acid. And I'm a little older than you, so I went to pharmacy school a little bit earlier than you. But when I was in pharmacy school, there weren't a lot of active ingredients for the skin, but there was retinoic acid, and we got downloaded on the power of retinoic acid. So I have been steeped in the understanding the biochemistry, the mechanisms of action, as well as the value to the consumer of retinoic acid, i.e. the active ingredient Retin A, for many years. Now, retinol is a precursor to retinoic acid. I should tell you, retinoic acid is vitamin A. It's active vitamin A. It requires a prescription, and you got to go to the dermatologist to get it. It only comes in a couple of strengths, but it is the gold standard anti-aging ingredient from a pharmacy perspective. Retinol is a precursor to retinoic acid. It gets converted into retinoic acid, which means it's not going to be as potent as retinoic acid, but it doesn't require prescription. So when I started my skincare company, I knew I wanted to give my patients the opportunity to use retinoic acid without a prescription. So I went to retinol, because retinol is converted in the skin to retinoic acid. You make your own Retin A, in essence, when you use retinol. However, retinol is 100 or so times weaker than retinoic acid because of this conversion that needs to take place. So when I formulated my retinol products, I wanted to create a product that was equipotent to a prescription product. So the standard prescription dose of Retin A is 0.05%. I did the math, 5% retinol. The beginning strength of retinoic acid for prescription strength retinoic acid is 0.01%. I did the math, retinol 1%. And those are our two flagship products, our retinol products. Our retinol 5% gel, our retinol 1% gel, they're equipotent, have the same potency as retinoic acid. So what is that potency? What is the effect of retinoic acid? It is the quintessential pleiotropic active ingredient, skincare active ingredient. Pleiotropia or pleiotropic means multifunctional, many benefits. And this is the reason I consider myself a nutritional pharmacist. When you use nutrition, you get multiple benefits. You get a whole scheme of benefits, a whole spectrum of benefits. When you use a drug, you may get a benefit, but you get lots of side effects. When you use a nutrient, you get a benefit, plus you get lots of side benefits. You don't get side effects, you get side benefits. So I love nutrition. And in topical skincare, I love pleiotropic active ingredients. Retinol is the quintessential pleiotropic active ingredient. Number one, it thickens the skin. It makes the skin stronger and beefier. It stimulates collagen production. It stimulates the production of everybody's favorite over-the-counter ingredient these days, high hyaluronic acid. It turns on your own high hyaluronic acid. That means moister skin, and that means plumper skin. The difference between a little kid's skin and your grandmother's skin, or even my skin and your skin, is the plumpness. That plumpness is a function of high hyaluronic acid. Many people are using high hyaluronic acid as an ingredient. You're not going to get high hyaluronic acid plumping effects in a skincare product, but you will get it when you use retinol. So retinol turns on your own natural high hyaluronic acid, in addition to thickening the skin and providing more collagen for less wrinkles and less fine lines. But there's many more benefits. Retinol also turns on the production of lipids, the skin's natural fats, for strengthening the stratum corneum barrier. The surface of the skin is called the stratum corneum. As we age, this surface gets weaker, and this accounts for sensitive skin, dry skin, hyperpigmentation, or melasma. Many skin health issues are a function of a defective stratum corneum barrier. Retinol turns on the production of the lipids, the fats that strengthen the stratum corneum. That means minimizing hyperpigmentation, minimizing skin sensitivities, and making the skin stronger and healthier. Speaking of skin lightening, retinol also lightens the skin in two different mechanisms. Number one, it lightens the skin at the level of the melanocyte, which is the cell that makes the pigment. It actually stabilizes pigmentation or pigment production at the level of the melanocyte. And number two, it helps slough off pigment that accumulates in blotchy patches on the surface of the skin. So you have two separate mechanisms of skin lightening. Speaking of sloughing off, one of retinol's most immediate benefits is its exfoliating. It retexturizes and reconditions skin surface. As if that weren't enough benefits, there's more. Retinol also unroofs pustules. So if you have acne, it helps improve the blemishes that exist. And because it helps stabilize the movement of cells from the bottom to the top, it prevents pimples from forming later on. As if that weren't enough benefits, there's more. Yeah, it's like that infomercial. But wait, more. Yeah. And it's not an infomercial. This is true about retinol. Right. This is my favorite benefit of retinol. When vitamin A is stored in the skin, retinol is stored in the skin. You have natural retinol in your skin all the time. However, when you go out in the sun, retinol is used by the biological system, by the skin, to protect you from the sun. So when you go out in the sun, your natural retinol gets depleted. And when you put retinol on top of your skin actually sucks up that retinol. Your skin cells actually suck up that retinol, and you replace the retinol that's been lost by oxidation, by photooxidation in the sun. So you can actually take a nutritional supplement, a vitamin A nutritional supplement, topically with our retinol, with our Truth Retinol gels. So you got, isn't that amazing?
It is.
One ingredient. To me, if you're not using retinol on a regular basis, you're completely missing the boat on anti-aging skincare and on skin health. So retinol's got pleiotropic benefits, but it does have a downside. And that downside is it's very stimulating. And that stimulation, if the skin is not prepared for it, can result in irritation. So you got to kind of be a little sophisticated, number one, with how you use retinol, and number two, with how I, as a formulator, how we formulate with retinol. And this is where my Truth Retinol gels and all my Truth Retinol products are so stand out, if I may be so bold and say really outstanding in the world of retinol products. I always blend my retinol with fat-soluble vitamin C, not ascorbic acid, not the cheap kind, but the fat-soluble kind, the stable kind. And that gives the patient a much milder experience with retinol, so that if you haven't been able to use retinol, a lot of people think that they can, or retinoic acid, now you can, because our Truth Retinol gels are not just retinol, they are retinol with vitamin C. Now, we're running out of time here but I would love to tell you all the benefits of vitamin C, aside from the fact that it helps mitigate some of the untoward effects of retinol. But we can save that for another video.
Absolutely.
Because next to retinol, vitamin C is the next most important ingredient for your skin. And with our Truth Retinol products, you get both. So retinol has to be used strategically and thoughtfully. It has to be formulated strategically and thoughtfully, and that's what we've done. But when you use it, you have to use it strategically and thoughtfully. And that is, you have to, number one, build yourself up to the stronger doses. And this is why we have so many different strengths, so many different retinol products, is because we want our patients to be able to build themselves up slowly to the 5% strength, which is the maximum strength. And number two, you want to make sure that you're taking days off when you use retinol, because what you're doing when you use a retinol product is you're activating, and then you want to allow the tissue to recover, to respond. The real benefits are in the recovery. It's kind of like when you work out. You know, with weights, your benefits aren't coming when you're tearing up your muscles. They're coming the next day when you're sitting on your butt watching TV in the recovery phase. So patients always want to know how often do I use? Sometimes people think more is better. No, you want to leverage the recovery phase. There's 3 ways that you can mitigate or reduce the likelihood of any untoward effects. And like I say, retinol is very stimulating for the skin. So the skin isn't really strong enough and healthy enough and vigorous enough. And many people have that defective, weak stratum corneum as they get older, or they're not nutritionally sound. They may run into some issues with inflammation. And this is kind of a downside with retinol. So you can mitigate any untoward effects with by incorporating 3 strategies into your retinol protocol. One is on me as a formulator, and that's to use the vitamin C with the retinol, which kind of softens the blow a little bit, provides antioxidant protective effects. And we'll talk about some of the wonderful benefits of vitamin C on another video. But for my Truth Retinol gels, it has a protective effect and anti-inflammatory effect. Number two, you want to build yourself up slowly. And this is why we have so many different strengths. You want to start off at maybe 0.3%. We have a 0.3% retinol, work yourself into 1%, and then work yourself into 5%. 5% is the max on retinol. And number three, make sure you're leveraging the rest period, the recovery period. Don't overuse the retinol because you think, oh, I'm just going to put more retinol on and I'm going to use it more frequently because I want to get rid of my wrinkles really fast. The recovery phase is when the collagen and the high hyaluronic acid and the stratum lipids and all the benefits come on days off. So learn to leverage the days off. And if you apply those three techniques, one on me, which is where we use vitamin C with our retinol, and then build yourself up slowly and take days off, you'll be able to enjoy all the wonderful benefits of retinol without any untoward effects.
I love it. I love your information, Ben. You are truly a skincare expert, and it's obvious that you've been doing this for a long time because you are so knowledgeable, and I really, really appreciate it. I love your products, and I love sharing them with other people. So thank you so much, Ben, for your time today. Looking forward to the next one.
Thank you, buddy. Bye, everybody.